So good afternoon, everyone. We are Rumbo Jumbo. Together with me is Sing and Vincent. Today, we are here to share with you our findings and recommendations for Jumbo to achieve its aim to stay relevant, sustain, and grow its business in the pacing market. Next. Jumbo Groups owns Jumbo Seafood and many other restaurants. We have decided to focus on Jumbo Seafood because Jumbo Seafood has already entered the Chinese market, and as such, we feel that focusing on Jumbo Seafood will make more sense in this case. Next slide. Okay, so what we found is that firstly, the Chinese market is a highly competitive one. There's actually a large number of Chinese operators that are trying to target their consumers through various promotional strategies. At the same time, the industry is actually dominated by domestic cuisines, which are affordable and of familiar taste. So with that, it's not easy for Jumbo to compete with these competitors. Secondly, what we found is that the consumer's behaviors is always evolving. Firstly, what we can see is that there's a high adoption rate of technology in the industry itself because consumers embrace convenience. What I mean by that is like examples would be e-payment, e-reservation, or even e-menu. Another thing that we notice is consumers with greater disposable income are gradually seeking new culinary pursuits. So there are some key characteristics of the Chinese middle class that we have identified. What we realize is that the Chinese here are very much easily influenced by their peers. So when someone gives you a suggestion or an opinion or something, you actually listen to it because it matters to them. Secondly, they seek emotional satisfaction through better taste or higher status, and also they are actually heavy users of technology. What we also identify is that in 2022, the upper middle class would actually account for about 56% of the private urban consumption. So with all this, we actually realize that as much as Jumbo want to retain its target audience as the higher end, they should also not underestimate the middle class, because this is what that can help Jumbo to stay relevant and also sustain its growth in Beijing itself, or even China. So with all this mentioned, the objective to grow, sustain, and relevance, our team have actually come up with the 4E approach. So now Sing will be talking about the first two E's of this approach.
Thank you, Li Ting. So, how do we grow Jumbo's business? This is where our first E comes in, which is enlarging Jumbo's customer segments. We've decided to adopt the online to offline digital advertising model and propose that Jumbo execute a viral campaign, which we have so named 谁当霸王蟹. With this campaign, we want to generate hype about Jumbo's brand offerings via online channels to drive customer segments to its offline restaurant. Why would such a campaign work, you might ask? Leveraging your digital media platforms are the best way to reach Chinese users with the heavy use of digital media. Now, we will be engaging key opinion leaders for this campaign, since they have been known to be effective in shaping customers' brand perceptions with their ability to easily gain their trust. Now, the campaign proceeds in 4 phases. In the first phase, we'll be creating audience hype. This will be Jumbo will introduce the campaign on Chinese social networks on WeChat and Weibo. For this campaign, a social contest will be rolled out where social media users will get to vote for the KLs, which is endorsed by Jumbo, whom they want to see featured in a crab eating showdown. In the next phase, audience engagement will be optimized when KOLs appeal to the masses to win their votes through their own social content rolled out. The next phase will be the actual crab eating showdown itself, where the 4 KOLs who accumulate the most votes will face off in a live crab eating competition. This showcase will be live streamed on various Chinese media platforms such as Miaopai and ITE. The winner of the showdown will be so crowned the 霸王蟹. Finally, after the showdown, lucky fans of the crowned 霸王蟹 will be handpicked by the winning KOL himself to dine together at Jumbo Seafood. The 霸王蟹and these fans will then push out content of their dining experiences on their social networks with the hashtag Join the Jumbo Movement in order to make publicity of the campaign viral. So what you see here are some of the Chinese key opinion leaders who are who roll out more F&B related content that Jumbo can consider engaging to make this campaign a success. Now on to the next E. We want to retain existing we propose that Jumbo retain existing customers through enhancing their dining experiences. we first suggest increasing the transparency of kitchen operations through adopting an open view kitchen concept. Customers will feel more entertained when they are able to witness for themselves how the dishes that they are ordered are being prepared, such as the raw seafood cleansing process. Next, Jumbo can consider investing in enhanced customer engagement. So 2 examples that we have thought of was that chefs actually performing the finishing touches to food preparation by the table side before seafood dishes are being served as a, as like showmanship. And another is that we actually provide children patrons with like crab-themed utensils as a form of engagement and to, of course, keep them happy. Finally, incorporating product education measures such as a How to Eat Crab 101 menu will increase their satisfaction. And now, Vincent will elaborate on the other parts of our framework.
Thank you, Sing. So our next E, encourage, has the intended objective of increasing customer share of the wallet. This can be achieved through leveraging on special occasions to roll out promotional strategies. For example, Jumbo Seafood can initiate customer-specific promotions, such as offering promotional or complimentary items to restaurant patrons who are having their birthday when they visit the restaurant. They can also make use of festivals such as Chinese New Year or Christmas to roll out new limited item promotional menus to entice Chinese patrons to visit the restaurant during these occasions. Through strategically making use of customer-specific big day as well as festivals, they will be able to forge powerful emotional connection with their customers, as well as position themselves as the choice restaurant to celebrate special occasions where lasting memories are created. This will lead to increased brand loyalty, which will then allow them to encourage their customers to spend more. Next, I will elaborate on our final E, which is embrace, these are the potential events that Jumbo Seafood can leverage on to roll out their promotional strategies. Next, our final E is embrace technology. As we have established earlier, our customers favor the use of technology in nearly all aspects of their life. Therefore, we recommend that Jumbo Seafood adopt a technology-driven business strategy. This will consist of 2 main pillars. First is digitization, the other one is e-commerce. So to digitize its service, Jumbo Seafood can implement an e-reservation system using the brand's WeChat public account. They can also adopt the use of tabletop tablet devices, which will allow customers to view menu, order food, or summon service staff to form some sort of like e-service infrastructure. And next, for e-commerce, will be the second pillar of our embrace technology approach. So the successful implementation of this approach will hinge on 3 key tenets, which are partnerships, products, as well as platform. So for partnership, they can consider entering into a strategic partnership with local service company to develop an online ordering platform. And they can also collaborate with dominant food delivery players such as Ele.me or Meituan. And also they should leverage on their reliable R&D center to develop food products which are suitable for takeout or delivery, such as some premium jumbo special lunch box like that customers can order online. And finally, they need to ensure that they have a robust e-commerce platform which are able to offer comprehensive digital services to their customers. With this e-commerce approach, Jumbo Seafood will be able to extend their offerings to new customers within the delivery as well as takeout segment. And so embracing technology can bring many benefits for the restaurant. They'll be able to optimize their service, which will lead to higher efficiency, and reduce the amount of service staff needed to serve each table. So this will free up human resources that they can channel towards enhancing service delivery as well as or reduce costs, and they can also achieve higher customer satisfaction. And so just to recap, we have formulated the 4 E's approach. And this 4 E's approach will allow Jumbo Seafood to address the key issues of increasing brand awareness, acquiring brand loyalty, as well as reaping the full benefit of adopting technology, thereby achieving its objective of staying relevant, grow, and sustain its business in Beijing. Thank you.
Testing. Since its humble beginnings in 1987, Jumbo has become a household name in Singapore. With its aim to become an MNC in the F&B industry, what should Jumbo do? Good morning, judges. I'm Yewen. Together with me is Kathy, Rachel, and Jensen, and we are from Borderless. Jumbo prides itself on its conservative expansion in China, which currently constitutes up to 14% of the group's revenue in 2016. Although China is the land of opportunities, there is rising competition. Delving deeper into the Chinese market, we can see the difference between Shanghai and Beijing. Shanghai customers prefer food that is light and sweet, while Beijing customers prefer food that is saltier and has a stronger flavor. However, we understand that Jumbo cannot change its menu to localize its menu, as it will dilute the authentic Singaporean taste that Jumbo currently provides. Therefore, Jumbo has to think of other alternatives to increase customer traffic in Beijing. To achieve its aim, Jumbo now has to tackle three main issues. Firstly, the lack of traffic. Secondly, increasing competition. And last but not least, the increasing costs. Tapping onto your three key competencies, we have formulated the SEA approach. First, solidifying our base through the development of Jumbo Seafood. Next, expanding our horizons by introducing new Jumbo Group restaurants. And lastly, utilizing artificial intelligence to effectively manage costs.
The first step to success is solidifying our base. Upon entering the Beijing market, Jumbo has utilized social media efforts and word of mouth for promotion. From our alternative analysis, we suggest a two-pronged approach: corporate discount in the short run to improve customer traffic, and CSR efforts in the long run to instill brand loyalty. Currently, Jumbo Seafood is strategically located at Chaoyang District, the central business district of Beijing. Also, Chinese businesses have the practice of conducting formal dinners before deals. Hence, Jumbo can tap on these opportunities to incentivize corporates through a corporate package. However, we understand that Chinese companies might not be receptive to Jumbo yet. Hence, we will first approach Singapore companies, and through their business deals, we can get more companies to know about Jumbo. This creates a network effect where Jumbo can turn its existing customers into part of its advertising team. As for our long-term strategy, we have chosen CSR effort to instill brand loyalty. This is because Chinese are more supportive of firms that conduct CSR efforts due to the Confucian philosophy. Hence, we can extend our CSR efforts into Beijing. Since seafood safety issues have been a growing concern among the Chinese, Jumbo can aim to raise awareness of seafood safety among the general public, and especially the next batch of culinary experts in China. This can be done by collaborating with culinary schools to conduct guest lectures for students on the importance of proper seafood storage and preparations. Also, Jumbo can collaborate with the media to promote our safety tagline, 安全珍贵，同如宝贝. We have identified Beijing Xingdongfang Penren Xuexiao as our partnering school due to shared visions. Besides conducting guest lectures, we can also scout for new talents and potential employees, ensuring a sustainable stream of manpower. As for our TV collaboration, we have chosen Xing Chu Jia Dao, a popular Chinese cooking competition. In the show, Jumbo can educate contestants and home viewers on how easily and safely seafood can be prepared. Tapping on its high viewership, Jumbo can reach out to a wider network of potential customer base and also instill brand loyalty in existing customers.
Moving on to the second key of success is expanding our horizons through diversification. We are planning to bring one of Jumbo Group's brands into Beijing to capture the middle spending market. Based on three main factors, we have chosen Ng Asio Bak Kut Teh to be the brand to be brought into Beijing. Firstly, the food items in Bak Kut Teh, such as youtiao and tea, is very similar to the Chinese culture. Also, the herbs used in the herbal soup, such as star anise and cloves, are among the top 10 used herbs in China. Secondly, since close competitor Song Fa Bak Kut Teh is intending to open their first outlet in Shanghai in late 2017, we feel that there's this receptiveness of Chinese towards bak kut teh. Last but not least, we feel there's little competition currently in the Beijing market for bak kut teh, as there's no shop that solely sells bak kut teh. To choose a strategic location for our first outlet, we are planning to target the mid to high spending individuals and families with an average spending of 90 renminbi per person. We have chosen Chaoyang Dayuecheng, also known as Joy City, for our first outlet location. It is because there's high human traffic, it has a family mall, and most importantly, there's a lot of international brands which suggest mid to high spending families and individuals. To adapt Ng Asio Bak Kut Teh into Beijing, in terms of the menu, we hope to retain the authentic Singaporean flavor by adding additional condiments such as hua jiao and also bak kut teh flavored jiaozi, which is an important staple for Beijing people. In terms of the branding, we hope to emphasize on the fact that bak kut teh is a herbal soup and that herbs bring about health benefits, since Chinese people like to drink herbal soup. Also, we want to leverage on Jumbo Group's brand and reputation it currently has in Beijing for an edge over our competitors. And also, for Ng Asio Bak Kut Teh's brand, we hope to package it so that it will appeal more to the locals. So we have come up with a Chinese tagline that by rearranging Ng Asio's name, which is 吃肉骨秀恩爱. Hopefully, with this tagline, it will appeal to them and they will remember the shop better. Last but not least, we hope to partner with Yonghong Tech, which is an artificial intelligence company. Through this partnership, we hope we are able to leverage on the expertise and knowledge on technology for operations.
You must be thinking how AI is relevant to Jumbo Group's business. So from the 2016 financial year report, the cost of goods sold and staff costs has been the main contributor to the rising costs of Jumbo, and crab prices are increasing by $1 to $2 every year, leading to an expensive supply chain. Furthermore, since Beijing is a new market for us, there's a lack of consumer knowledge as well. Therefore, AI can benefit us in two ways. First, to reduce inefficiency in our supply chain through inventory management, and second, to gain new customer insights to help us stay relevant in the Chinese market. So to achieve this, we propose a joint venture with Yonghong Tech, which specializes in big data and artificial intelligence. Both our companies share a strong vision to provide the best for our customers. And Jumbo Group can also leverage on the current vibrant AI landscape in China right now, so we can use it as a test bed before implementing it to the rest of the operations. So how does AI impact Jumbo Group? Let's take a look at this simplified supply chain. So first, we can use the historical data and market demand trends to predict the optimal inventory level so that this ensures reduces inventory wastage and also ensures the freshness of our raw materials. Next, in the storage and transportation process, Jumbo Group can forecast risks and also generate solutions by using external data such as flight delays. Lastly, Jumbo Group can also identify bottlenecks in the restaurants so that we can enhance customer experience through reducing waiting time. AI can also help us to understand our customers better. So due to the high technology penetration rate, e-commerce reviews such as Dianping has become the new mode of advertisement. People are influenced by opinions of our past consumers. Therefore, AI can help us to sieve out the key and relevant reviews from all these platforms so that we can immediately respond to them and hence increase our customer return rate. Last but not least, AI can also help us to set a direction for our marketing strategy. This will help us to reduce the cost and also our time spent on the marketing research.
Here's a rough implementation timeline that we have came up with. We will start our solidifying the base right now while conducting our market survey for the bak kut teh. Once our market survey has been completed, we will then start our collaboration with Yonghong Tech. Translating all this into numbers, we expect to have a CAGR of 27% by 2021 and increase China's profits in the whole group to 21% in 2021. SEA, solidifying our base and expanding our horizons and artificial intelligence. We believe that with this, Jumbo can see its way to success. Thank you.
I'll leave time for the other judges to ask questions, but I'd just like to make a comment on my observation. I noticed that group number 4, which is borderless, I think is probably the group that covers, very much what the question, the case question asks for, which is the Jumbo group as a whole, rather than just the seafood. So I think that's my observation. And I think the presentation by both groups were very well presented. Thoughts are very well thought of. And I think both groups actually make use of the current, what we call social media platform to try and expand, the horizon, which is a very good approach.
I just want to clarify that during the brief, we did mention that the groups can rely on what is tangible, that is our seafood brand that's already in the market to do their work, or they can, just come up with any ideas, knowing that we have so many brands, so they can also use any of these new brands as background of their work. So either way is fine. Yeah. I have a question for, I think, Group 3. You mentioned KOL contests. What kind of contests, and how do you go about doing it?
Okay, the idea is like a advertising campaign actually. So we actually thought of the idea because in the Chinese market, right, Chinese users, the influencer industry is very, very, very huge, and also live streaming is a very big thing in China. So they like those kind of entertainment, like media that has a lot of entertainment value. So we want to let them, on Weibo, what they do is that they 投票 for the KOLs that they want to be featured on this live showdown. So when in the 投票 process, you create a lot of anticipation and hype. And then on the live showdown itself, we can use those media platforms where and all the Chinese users, they can actually tune in to see the KOLs actually competing among themselves, who can eat the fastest, who can eat crab the fastest, or who can eat the most crabs in a certain amount of time. And then we feel that advertising especially works in China because a lot of them, when they see their KOLs is doing this, then they'll be they are overhyping things is a very big thing in China. So we want to kind of leverage on this trend of using KOLs to overhype things. And the benefit is that although this kind of advertising campaign may require a certain budget from Jumbo, but because China market is very big, so it's a one-time thing that will exponentially increase Jumbo seafood. There's a Jumbo seafood in Beijing. Yeah.
I have a question for Borderless. You suggested corporate contracts for Jumbo as a group, right? I'm just just wondering, for the network effect that you are suggesting. I know you've likely done some quantitative analysis from what I see on your presentation. The presence of Singapore companies generally is still not very big in China. How much of a network effect are you able to project based on moving into the Singapore companies first and then moving out from there to the rest of the market?
Thank you for your question. So because we feel that these Singaporean companies will be more receptive to Jumbo Group, we have decided to roll this out in 2 phases. So for the first phase, we'll be approaching the Singaporean restaurants, such as Singaporean companies, probably such as DBS or the Singapore Embassy. So when they are conducting their business dinners, we will actually know the other party, who are they dining with. And this actually creates a network effect. Although we have not actually included this into the financials yet, because we feel that because they're going to pay a down payment of the subscription fee of 5,000 renminbi, which is quite negligible compared to the total group's revenue as a whole. So all our forecasted increasing sales are all based on the industry CAGR of 11%, as well as our bak kut teh revenue.
To add on to that, because for what you have mentioned, you will be afraid that the Singapore company presence here might be too small. So maybe after through some more intensive market research, probably we can also expand to our nearby countries such as Malaysia or even Hong Kong. We want people who have tried Jumbo seafood before. So once they have the experience, they can actually use this network effect. So to spread it to the Chinese companies, the Chinese clients here.
I have one observation, one comment, and one question. Okay, observation is I think you all use a lot of third-party technology or services, which are good and also great. I think this is something that we should continue, and because it actually save costs. Because if we write on something that is mature and it's already booming in the market or has been a lot of people are following, I think it can save a lot of costs and also save a lot of time. I mean, this is our experience. Actually, marketing cost has been going down per event or per venue for us because we have been using all this. Okay, that's a good observation. And a comment is a good idea is maybe we can try to promote chili crabs as a healthy food together with Raffles Medical. Yeah, okay. That's a good idea that came along. And lastly, a question. In fact, it has been running in my mind. To grow jumbo business in China, whether do you think should grow revenue per restaurant or should we grow in number of restaurants? I think I need each team to give me a short answer on this one. Which one is more, which is better for jumbo? That means one restaurant either to grow the revenue like the turn of table, like 2 or 3 turns, go for this kind of fast turning, or should they grow in terms of numbers? That means they should have more restaurants. Okay. A short one. No answer is okay. We leave it to the next 2 teams.
Turntable in play fast music.
No.
You want to ensure
the higher revenue.
Like you want to open more restaurants only when there's a demand for them. Okay, I think for my group's rationale is that we believe that you should kind of maximize the capacity for one restaurant first before actually opening more restaurants, because I mean I would think that most F&Bs, when they actually open more restaurants, is that there is a demand for service there. But then if you can't ascertain that there is really a certain demand for your service or for your product, then there's no point in kind of putting more operations money into just opening another restaurant. Yeah.
And also just to add on, I think if you look at Jumbo Seafood, is the way it positions itself is about fine dining, high end. So like you have to make sure, there are a lot of things that you need to consider to make sure that your service, the quality of the food and everything is up to standard, and therefore like you can't just rely on, you can't do it like fast food, just set up many chains everywhere and all that. You must make sure that each restaurant is able to cater to the target customers. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So what my group feels is that Jumbo currently prides itself on its conservative expansion in China, meaning they try to manage costs effectively in order to stay competitive despite rising costs such as the COGS and staff costs. Because COGS is expected to increase $1 to $2 per crab every year. So if Jumbo is unable to manage costs effectively for each outlet, and by chasing outlet growth, this will not work in the long run.
To add on to that, I believe our group has read somewhere that the CEO of Jumbo Group has actually mentioned that if we are able to increase the number of turns per table per night, there's not much need for us to actually creating more risk for us and expand the capacity and stretching our resources.
Okay, one last question. Actually, the same question for both the teams. Let's go for Mambo. Mambo, right? Mambo, this one. Okay, Mambo. Rumbo, whatever. Rumbo or Jumbo?
Rumbo Jumbo, not Mambo Jumbo, is different.
Okay, you guys are the one with the 4E solution,
Yeah,
right? Okay, I got it right. Now, you derive your 4E solution based on a market analysis of high competitive and evolving customer behavior. Can you elaborate a bit, how does it link to each other? And how does your 4E actually addresses the two market behavior?
So firstly, it's like being highly competitive. So that okay, firstly, Jumbo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello. Yeah. So like, firstly, we say it's highly competitive, right? So by using the KOLs, there's a very wide reach. People say they like to use smell pie or this, which is why that is part of one of 4Es. Because if you actually look at the Chinese consumers, right, some of them they do slack at work. Some of them they will actually look at Melpie or this because they like entertainment, and this is something that is really part of their life and habit, which is why we actually came up with the KOL. That one is the biggest thing that we think would actually capture the whole market. Yeah, because when you have that kind of entertainment, people write articles, word of mouth will spread, and then there's hype by KOL. KOL, working with Jumbo Seafood itself, is also a kind of brand name for themselves. Yeah, so that's why, although it's highly competitive, because it's highly competitive, therefore there's a need to touch on the online market itself. Because when you do offline marketing, it's not enough. You need the hype online, on social media, then people share their content. When people share their content, it will multiply. Word of mouth marketing is very, very, it's something that we cannot underestimate. Yeah.
Basically, that one kind of leverages on the O2O model that we say. Like in China, for marketing, O2O is a very huge thing. Yeah.
And also, like, basically because another key thing about the competition is that, like, compared to maybe the local restaurant and all that, as has been mentioned many times, Jumbo Seafood is relatively novel. Like crab eating as a big seafood crab for Chinese is not something new. I believe like for Chinese, crab eating means something else, and that is why we need to we need to do some kind of introduce the products through the KOLs, because like we gain their endorsement, and therefore the Chinese consumers trust their KOLs, and therefore that's how we want to like entice them to try out the products. And also like for the evolving and also in another thing is that in a competitive market, it becomes very important for you to be able to differentiate yourself. And how do you before you can come up with strategies to differentiate yourself, you need to know your customers well. And we have identified some of the key characteristics that we mentioned before. They use technology a lot. They seek experience and all that. And that's why we come up with, based on this characteristic, we come up with our 4Es, which are able to specifically meet and which are able to engage like the customer in the most effective way, achieve brand awareness, brand loyalty, and therefore achieve the objective.
Yeah, the other side.
Thank you for your question. May I just clarify? You're asking how did our market research translate into our solutions?
Well, you have a SEA solution, right, versus there are 4Es. But your market analysis says that, well, in Beijing, we have a problem. First, we are located in the north. Next, they like salty stuff. So we have low traffic.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So basically,
and we have, hang on,
Oh, okay.
and we have basically low traffic. I think that's the only thing that you identify. Yeah. And then you come up with SEA.
So we have identified 3 key issues that Jumbo faces right now. First is the low traffic. Next is the increasing competition in the competitive landscape. And last, it will be the rising cost that Jumbo will face every year. So hence, we have decided on this SEA approach. First, we plan to solidify the base by developing Jumbo Seafood in Beijing first. After that, we will then introduce new introduce new Jumbo Group restaurants to stay relevant and sustain the business. And last but not least, develop artificial intelligence in order to manage costs effectively as a whole group. So it's like a tailored approach with the artificial intelligence trying to save costs, while the first two is to drive revenue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can we have the next teams?
Good.